Well, hi tubers, I'm back with 22 books of 2022, and it's Normal People by Sally Rooney. So I've got this over to a charity shop, so I thought I'd check it out. And okay, this book was everywhere a few years ago, everyone was talking about it, and I've actually read it. Now, I also know it was turned into a TV show, haven't seen it either. So, here we go, and read the blurb. People know that Marianne lives in a white mansion with a driveway and that Connell's mother is a cleaner, but no one knows of the special relationship between these two. Connell and Marianne grew up in the same small town in the west of Ireland, but the similarities end there. In school, Connell is popular and well-liked, while Marianne is a loner who has learned from painful experiences to stay away from her classmates. Once she struck up in a conversation in Marianne's kitchen, awkward but electrifying, something life-changing begins. Right, so they meet as teenagers, they meet at school, and it's an instant attraction between the two, and they start a secret relationship. Okay, so now this book is written in a very kind of minimalist style. Okay, there is no like punctuation, there is even no sentences. So much of it is, no sentences, no sentence structure. It is just talking. A lot of it, okay, is like talking past tense. It goes back and forth. Not in time, okay, but it's like chapter is kind of like a chapter, then that chapter 6 months later, but it talks about what happened within that last 6 months. Okay, it is a very, very kind of unique style. It's very kind of direct, and it's without emotion about these two relationships. They struck up a conversation, they struck up a relationship. Now, I found this writing very, very pretentious in its style. These two characters do not talk like students. They do not talk like teenagers. It's like the weight of the world and the angst is on their shoulders. No, that's actually a lot of teenagers feel that angst, but not like this. Their thought process is like a fully formed adult in their 30s, not a teenager. It's like this aloof detachment. When I say normal people, it's like these two characters struggle to be normal, but there is no normal. There absolutely is. Okay, this bit here. This is when they're talking about the college applications. Okay, right. With Marianne it was different because everything between them, even awkward and difficult things, he could do or say anything he wanted with her, and no one would ever find out. It gave him a virtuous, light-headed feeling to think about it. Right. So the relationship is secret because obviously, okay, it's like, uptown girl. She lives in, the big house, and his mum's a cleaner. So that's the mentality of this. And it's a whole kind of where you can't tell anyone. It's got to be a secret. And I was like, no one really cares. Like the class process is really kind of full in this book, and I just understood Connor's mentality way more than Marianne's. Okay, because I was working class and I went to university, and I did struggle to fill in. Okay, but she's got the privilege. She's absolutely got the privilege. Right, right, and the whole kind of reinventing yourself at university as well. I actually like this line. Right, he said at the webpage again. Lately, he's consumed by his sense that he's fact two separate people. As soon as he had to choose which person to be on a full-time basis, he'd the other behind. He had a life in quickly. He had friends, but he went to college in Galway. He could stay with the same social group. Really, he lived a life he always planned on. Getting a good degree, having a nice girlfriend. People say he would done well for himself. On the other hand, he could go to Trinity like Marianne. Life would be different then. He could start by going to dinner parties and having conversations about the Greek bailout. Right. So he makes a choice, and basically he follows Marianne to uni. So it's probably spoilers. But it's just their detachment. They're at university, but neither of them are happy. Right. What's the bit? At all. And also, I found the right side very, very pretentious, but this is the bit, okay? Once again, the class style really, really kind of pays in full. Connell has like issues, okay, regarding his class, and in a way, everyone will remind him of that at university, in his life, even his own mother. This bit, okay? Right. So is marrying your girlfriend? No. Right. What does that mean? It means you're having a relationship with her, but she's not your girlfriend. Okay. Right. It's because of her mother, said Lorraine. That's Connell's mother. You think she'd frown on you? What? Because she might, Frown on me, Connell said. That's insane. What have I ever done? Right. I think she might consider us a little bit beneath her station. Right. Right, she doesn't mind you cleaning their house, but she doesn't want your son hanging around with her daughter. What an absolute joke. That's like funny 19th century times. I'm actually laughing at that. You don't actually sound like you're laughing, said Lorraine. Believe me, I am. It's hilarious to me. You see, everything's kind of, they always say show, not tell. It says all tell and no show. Everything, okay, is he said, she said. You never really get into people's heads. Connor's standing there and hearing this from his mother. Mentally, he felt righteous indignation, okay, saying, who the hell do you think she is, kind of thing. Said it's, oh, that's hilarious, I'm laughing. Even though he's not, okay. So, but the thing is, at university, even though that Connell does not fit in a way, he kind of goes into a different direction. He's going to do law originally, starts doing English, okay, right. And reading the classes kind of impacts him in a way. It kind of really kind of broadens his mind. And this bit here, now I'm just going to read this out just for this sentence, okay? Right. One night at the library started closing. This had he reached a passage in Emma when he seen that Mr. Knight is going to marry Harriet, and he had to close the book and walk home in a state of strange emotion and agitation. He was amused at himself, getting wrapped up in the drama of novels like that. It was intellectually unserious to concern himself with fictional people marrying one another. But there it is. It just moves him. One professor called it the pleasure of being touched by great art. In a way, the feeling provoked in Connell when Miss Knight kisses Emma's hand is not complete asexual. Its relation to sexuality is indirect. It suggests to Connell that the same imagination he uses as a reader is necessary to understand real people, also and be intimate with them. Now, I like the style of writing, but you can hear the pretension within it, if you understand. It's very, very pretentious. And from Marianne's point of view, Marianne seems to be in this path of self-destruction. Throughout her entire childhood, she's got issues, okay, with her estranged father. Her brother's an absolute arse. Her mother is just emotionally distant. And so she never really fits in anywhere. I thought it was quite interesting because, she joins the same kind of groups that Connell does, starts her own kind of friendships, but she does not fit in. She doesn't feel that she does fit in. I actually understood this, but once again, the class system is really coming in. Okay, right, right. He always comes to her parties, though he says he doesn't really understand her friendship group. The female friends like him a lot for some reason, feel very comfortable sitting on his lap during conversations and tossing his hair fondly. The men here have not warmed to him in the same way. He's tolerated his association with Marianne, but he's considered in his own right particularly interesting. He's not even smart, one of her male friends exclaimed the other night when Connell wasn't there. Smarter than I am, said Marianne. Now I knew what to say then. It's true that Connell was quiet at parties, stubborn, quite even, and not interested in showing off how many books he has read or how many wars he has known. But Marianne is aware deep down that's not why people think he's stupid. But the thing is, for the entire years, all these people do, okay, is they keep going back to each other. Their relationship keeps going. When Flash is back, it's totally physical. Okay, she said, he said, she said. It becomes a little bit monotonous after a while. What to do, okay, is go back and forth to each other. They keep kind of finding each other, and they can up exactly where they left off, in their own little, kind of worlds and bubbles. Man, I found very interesting as well because Man is described as the uptown girl. Lives in a big house. Doesn't really have to worry about, I guess, a lot financially. Okay, Mum is obviously the cleaner, and at one point it's mentioned, okay, they read the Communist Manifesto. Okay, but this bit here, okay, right. University scholarships were announced back in April. Connell's wearing his jacket and had his arm wrapped around his headscarf at the time. When it came to English, they read out the names alphabetically, and the last one was Connell Waldron. Right. There it was, she said his name and moved on. He waited in the square till they announced history and politics. When he heard Marianne's name, he looked around to see her. You could hear a circle of friends cheering and some applause. Now, interesting, because obviously, as Man is described as an uptown girl, no one in their social group would call her out on why did you go for a scholarship when was there other people less privileged and more deserving than you, which would be the kind of thing, why would someone with so much privilege as she is described do that? So if you will. It seems to kind of drop hints again about Marianne's privilege. The fact is that her mum owns, and so her parents are, she lives in a big house, and her parents can afford a cleaner. But they don't really go a lot into her social economic circumstances, which I think they actually should have. They really should establish more as Marianne being an uptown girl if she is one, or just kind of the epsilons of upper middle class. So, another thing about Marianne is this: a lot of mention is made of her body. Okay, her size. She sits there, kind of, with her dark hair, with her dark eyes, smoking cigarettes, and she's thin. She becomes very, very thin. Now, I thought this would be leading to a storyline of which it turns out she actually has an eating disorder because she doesn't eat. She's on this path of self-destruction, which a lot of times people don't seem to be noticing. Everyone says how thin she is. In Connor's internal dialogue, everyone says she's so thin. But no one has had turned around okay and said, "Are you okay, Marianne? You seem to be losing weight. Is something you want to talk about?" Or to that effect. Okay? Right. Mm-hmm. So, mm-hmm. Right. But to Marianne, she's so emotionally broken. It's this bit here. I don't know what's wrong with me, Marianne says. I don't know why I can't be like normal people. Okay? In what way? I don't know why I can't make people love me. I think there was something wrong with me when I was born. That's the thing. Marianne just feels unlovable. She's on this path of self-destruction because she feels unlovable. You have Connor with his mental health issues, okay? He's a man with imposter syndrome. He is actually a very, very hard worker. A lot of the stuff that he writes, he thinks it's ridiculous, but it gets him a lot of attention, okay? And so as to kind of push him away from man in a way, kind of forcing his own path, okay? These two seem to diverge from each other and seem to go back to each other quite a lot. But they are, at times you think you should not even be together. Your entire relationship is self-destruction. Sorry, sex and self-destruction. That's the entire relationship. The way it's written, I like the concept of this book, but I found the writing style so pretentious. These two characters don't act like teenagers trying to figure their life out. They just feel like archetypes. Their internal dialogue is just ridiculous. But I can understand where I got the acclaim because it's a very, very kind of different kind of novel. So, Normal People by Sally Rooney. Okay, I liked the concept, but I did not like the execution. I found it, as I said before, very pretentious. So anyway, 20 books 2022, sign off.